7. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Town Council. It's the 10th day of September 2024 at exactly 7 p.m. And let the record also, we do have a quorum. We do have everyone here and we will be able to conduct business. Let the record show that we also have Town Administrator Aiken and Clerk Treasurer Gray in attendance. Could we please stand for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is to reconvene from the work session to the regular evening meeting. And so could I get a motion to reconvene, please?
I move we reconvene the work session meeting to the regular meeting.
Second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is to adopt the regular agenda. Can I get a motion?
Move that we adopt the regular agenda.
Second?
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Ross, seconded by Councilman Denny. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. The next item on the agenda is any announcements or proclamations. At this time, we don't have anything. And so the next item on the agenda would be the public comment section. You have 3 minutes to comment. So if you would like to come up to the podium. Did you have a comment, sir?
I do. I'd like to clarify something before I start. I am not against chickens. I was raised on a farm, and we had chickens for my entire life. There's been a survey that grew lamb. I responded to that survey, and I'm up here tonight only to get my comments on the town records.
Okay.
So they're there for the records. First off, the indication is that you're going to modify a town ordinance, number 90.05, changes, and I wish I could remember the words, but narrowly restrictive use of chickens. It's impossible to do that. You must understand that. If you don't understand it, get your attorney to tell you that. State law says that you cannot pass an ordinance that is in conflict with an HOA deed restrictions that was there before the town was. Period, amen. It all further goes on to say that restrictions, HOAs are there to retain property value. I can tell you a farm is less valuable than a city house. It says you must adhere to all the rules and regulations, and there are no HOA loopholes. And we seem to be spending an awful lot of time, and I understand it. You're trying to respond to the public, but you need to respond responsibly. And a responsible answer to someone who wants chickens is, we can't do it. It's against the law. So if you want to do it, there's one way to do it. The association changes, takes out their chicken ordinance, and then you take out your chicken ordinance. And that way everybody can comply with the law. As you're going down this path right now, you're going to give people permission to do it, which is exactly opposite of what the association says. Now, you can have chickens on these lots here and up at, Sunrise? You can have it up at Sunrise. You can pass an ordinance as an effective to those people who are not part of the Star Valley Ranch Association. So anyway, I have this, I'll give it to you. If you want to publish it, I don't care. But just so my comments are heard by the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next.
Lee Hanson. I want to talk to just a little bit about Sixpenny. First of all, I remind you that the town was formed for two reasons, roads and water. And now I read in the close to home letter that we're going to try to spend $3.3 million with the Sixpenny money for walking paths to our trails, to town common areas, and then if there's any left over, perhaps to roads. I'd like to see a breakdown of how you propose to spend the $3.3 million. First of all, so I need to break down. We could spend 5 times the $3.3 million fixing our roads alone, let alone putting in town commons and trails, walking paths. I'd like to know how many people use the Fox Run walking path. And also in your workshop today, you discussed the Sixpenny. So I'd like to know what you discussed about the Sixpenny in that meeting as well. The roads are used by everybody. Walking paths and town commons are not used by everybody, but roads are the main reason the town was formed, as well as for water, and we're getting close to being done with that. But the Sixpenny, we will be competing with other municipalities in Lincoln County. And if we say we want to spend, we'll spend a little bit on this and a little bit on that, I doubt that it'll fly very good. We need to have a specific project that we're going to spend that money on. Thank you. If there's any questions, we can ask Senator Doxler.
It's okay. Is it gonna work?
I don't know.
There we go.
Okay, so. My name is Paisley Shanks, and I'm here to talk about why I think chickens are beneficial to me as a young person in our community. So I'm going to start with the basics. You practically get eggs every day, so chickens are good for food like eggs and stuff, especially the roosters. As I have had chickens, I've learned a lot about taking care of the animal. For instance, chickens need their water changed. If it's dirty or running low, you need to change the food. You also need to see if they're healthy. You need to check their for injuries and see if they're acting weird. So they're as important to take care of as me and you. I've also learned that you have to add lots of stuff to their food, like red pepper flakes, so it kills parasites that might live in their gut, and sunflower seeds also supplement their diet so they make better quality eggs and other new ones. I've also learned that their clucks are different depending on what's happening. This brings me to my next point. As I have learned to care for these animals, it has brought me a feeling of happiness and accomplishment. I've also learned that brings me a feeling of joy and happiness. I've also realized that each chicken has a different personality, as I'm sure you can imagine. This discovery brings me a lot of amusement. In addition to the fun, chickens offer a lot of service that many of us find ourselves in need of every spring. A little known fact about chickens, which is an underrated benefit of having them around, is that they are incredible pest controls. Every spring when all the bugs come out, chickens get really happy. It's like a buffet that just walks right to you, and the chicken eats them and they make
it like bugs never existed. One fact about chickens is they eat about everything from the table, so it doesn't go straight to landfills. So chickens can also be very educational. First you learn all about their life cycle from how it starts with a basic egg and then a chick, and then a chicken, so that is pretty cool and all. And also you learn about different chicken types, like the Ethiopian and the silky bantam, so that is why I think chickens are important. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, do we have anyone else that would like to come and speak?
Good evening. My name is Rebecca Shanks. That was my daughter Paisley. She's 10, and I think she did a really good job vocalizing her concerns and the things that she cares about. I'm a mother and a wife in this community. I have 4 beautiful children. We have lived here for the past 10 years, and that is a huge contrast to my childhood, where I moved every year to year and a half growing up. I can honestly say that in the last 10 years I've lived here, I found a home in Star Valley, and I will forever be grateful for that. As my family moved around as a child, I had the privilege of living in many different areas, coast to coast, and also in Canada, which, is not relevant, but it is. I will tell you that Star Valley Ranch is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, and I actually just had a friend come visit, and she lives over in Pinedale, and was even like, Star Valley Ranch is gorgeous, which, props to us. I just want to tell you that I do believe Star Valley is a jewel. You may recognize me as not only a familiar face in the community, but I also am a former Mrs. Wyoming America. And I was Mrs. Wyoming last year, and that gave me a unique opportunity to speak about the things that mean a lot to me. So when I heard about this meeting and heard about the opportunity to take some time out of my evening to support a friend, I decided I'm going to do it. And I just want to tell you that I was reading our Star Valley Ranch vision and mission statements, and I do think that we're doing a great job. We have a beautiful rural community in a rural setting in the beautiful mountains. I mean, it says all of that. I do take issue with a couple of the things. If we're claiming that we have a rural lifestyle and that it's a family-oriented community, yet we're denying the opportunity to have something that benefits families, like chickens that give us eggs or meat, depending on what it is we're going to outline here, then I do take issue with saying that we're family-oriented. In addition to that, what is a rural lifestyle if not having the opportunity to operate your home in the way that you see fit for your family? That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and anyone else like to come up? One more?
Just a question. Carolyn Thacker, are we going to have a candidates night for those who are running for town council?
So, I can answer that.
Okay.
This is a polling place, so we are no longer allowed to have it in this building. So yes, but town hall is a polling place now, we're no longer able to have it here. I actually thought I made contact with the association with Michelle. She said we could use the barn. But then today that may have changed, I don't know.
I emailed Michelle about it, and she forwarded it on to Carrie. Carrie thought I was talking about the meeting on Thursday, not that, so she is going to get back with me in the month.
Okay, so we should know, but yes, it's the 17th at 7 p.m. and Duke Dance will be doing that. He will be the moderator.
Because without having that, really,
Yeah, we just
reading their bios doesn't tell you anything about it.
I agree. So that's the plan. All right. Do you have a comment? Sure, yes, Melissa.
Hi, my name is Kylie Bowman. I don't know if you remember my husband speaking last month. I just wanted to formally go on record and give my side of my point of view as well. It says, we are a young family, as you can tell, and I, more than anything, would love to raise independent and prosperous, not entitled members of society. And I feel like as controlling as we can in that environment, in our own situations, in our own family situations, I feel like the chickens would benefit for families to teach responsibility, to cultivate not just responsibility for them, but for us as well, and rearing up the posterity that isn't going to be such a drag on society. I don't know about you, but I feel like there are so many entitled opinions and people these days who just expect to be treated higher than thou, is what I would say. But my goal in my life on this earth is to create a family that is responsible, respectful, and that they can know right and wrong and choose to make those decisions for themselves. And I feel like that the chicken situation would be a benefit in that regard, not only to treat animals with respect, but themselves and their neighbors, and to show their input into society. And so I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
I really don't have, my name's Melissa Asher, by the way. I really don't have anything to add to what's been said. Just that I second and third and fourth everything that has been said about kids and living in a rural area and having chickens on the ranch. So,
Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Next item on the agenda is to adopt the agenda. And first of all, I'd like to read what is on the agenda. I need to find it first. So, the first item is to approve the minutes from August 13th work session and August 13th regular meeting. We have the disbursements, and we have the dispatch report, and also the special municipal report. Could I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
A motion made by Councilman Denny, second by Councilman Merrill. All in favor say aye. 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 Hearing none opposed, motion carries. The next item on the agenda is, I need to change that. Is that over? Is to the ordinances. So we've got one old ordinances, no new ordinances. So the first ordinance is ordinance 2024-11.
Mayor,
Yes.
approved by title only.
Approved by title only.
So approved by title and explanation first, and then the ordinance.
No, I can't change it. I'm not that age. Anyway, can I get a motion to read by title only?
I move that we read by title and explanation.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Okay. Next item then is ordinance 2024-11. Yes, would you please do that?
This is ordinance 2024-11, Title 15, Land Use, Chapter 150, Buildings. This is the second reading. The explanation is it updates the existing code to clarify language for building inspections, updates to stop work order requirements, updates to certificate of occupancy requirements, and carries language over from another update regarding driveways. I believe there were copies of this ordinance when people walked in, the changes. This is a very long chapter, so just to understand that the changes or the paragraphs that are being changed are the only things printed out, so there's a lot of information in between.
as well, that just the same paper we can have. So I would like to move that we approve the second reading of Title 15 Land Uses, Chapter 150 Buildings.
Okay. Second? Moved by Councilman Rock, second by Councilman Denny. We'll open that up to discussion. If there's any questions from the audience, I can say that we know that there's some grammar things in here, and there's a couple of other things that we will add to the third reading that just clarify it more. So, but for today, does anyone have any comments on this ordinance? Yeah.
Willie Hanson again. Am I to understand that there used to be kind of a decreasing refund policy based on how far the building got through before they stopped building? And now it appears that is that up to somebody's discretion now? Or is it just no refunds being offered? That was under A, where you deleted that section. And then I had another question around the certificate of occupancy. Does that preclude any temporary certificate of occupancy? Just some clarification I'd like on that. Thank you.
Thank you for that. The first question you had a comment about the refunds. That is actually one of the changes that I noticed will probably be incorporated for the third reading to specify that the town or the town building official is going to make that determination. Because we had eliminated the P&Z board determining the amount of the refund, but there will be someone in the town, and it's most likely going to be the building official that makes that determination. And then on...
That will be in various levels of refund, or is it?
I think the challenge with us is, first of all, I can only think of one house where they didn't do that much work on it. The challenge we have as a town is now we want to try to get it to bring that property back to its original state when we've got a home that is 50% built. And that's very difficult for us to do. So I think we decided we were going to continue to give money back if people aren't going to build their houses. So it's got that makes sense. Yeah, so right now it's 80%. Go ahead.
And then your other question was regarding the certificate of occupancy, and now I forgot what the question was. We're trying to do away, I believe, with the temporary certificates of occupancy and just, meet these requirements and you can get your certificate of occupancy. It became sort of, you probably know as well, it's been quite a tracking challenge to keep up with temporary certificates of occupancy, and then if someone has a temporary, how do you actually, would you go about getting them out of the house if you weren't going to give them a permanent one? So it's just, that's mostly what this change is aimed at, getting rid of the temporaries.
So the town will have to be policing if there's people living in a home that doesn't have a
certificate, yes.
And there will be fines and everything associated with that.
Yeah, which we already have in code.
Yeah, and
You can't live in your house.
new building official, that's one more thing for him to get his arms around.
But we know that it happens.
That's true.
I think what we found, and trying to get everything that is required has been a real challenge. So people are moving in and without a certificate of placement. So we have to pick up our line.
So that was specifically on the SMO's shoulders to police that? Or what? Who's going to police that?
Both.
Neighbors?
The building official and the SMO.
And we talked about that in our work session today about the powers of the building official and being able to potentially do enforcement for building code.
Yeah. I think the reality is, because I built a home here, and the town did not allow me to put anything anywhere until we had that CFO. And I think that, especially during COVID, we got a little lax, and we have to get back to where we were. So, is my opinion.
Because we know it happens.
Oh, sure. We know what's happening. Any other questions on this ordinance? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion approved. Next item is public hearing and action items. Usually there's resolutions in there, but we don't have any tonight, so that one is empty. And then we have the time for the... Oh, sorry. I was looking down too, I don't know. Usually resolutions are in there, we don't have any at this time. So we'll go on to the next item on the agenda, and that is the mayor and council. If you have anything, and I think I already mentioned Canada night, so we can make that happen. Council, do you have anything you'd like to add to this section?
I would like to mention that Thane is actually hosting an open house for the 6th penny, and basically the special purpose tax, just an explanation, and they've invited other towns, but we actually will be present as well to answer questions as they come forward from our citizens or the rest of the community. I would also like to let everyone know that in the process of putting forth the 6th penny and putting it in front of the county, that where it was approved to go on the ballot in November, that a lot of consideration was put into why it didn't pass last time. The walking paths are hopefully to promote the rest of the community, the rest of the valley to come and utilize that. It's also for a safety measure. When the roads and the water were the reasoning behind making ourselves a town, we had a very low population rate. At this point, we are very high compared to that, and it is unsafe for a lot of people to be walking on our roads without some type of pathway to regulate that a little.
Mayor, can we make a comment on that or not?
Go if they want, yeah. That's up to her, Councilman.
The issue that was prevalent last time you did, as I recall, was the other towns weren't as much in favor of doing it as we were. I think we were kind of leading it, if I'm not mistaken. The fewer items you have to defend or to sell, they won't do it. And I would say that other towns' view of Star Valley not as positive as ours. And when you start talking about recreational type things versus infrastructure, they're more apt to vote against it than they are for it. I would ask the council to reconsider one more time, just going through in your mind, what is the best thing to do? And infrastructure sells a 6 penny far greater than common areas, which are, that's pretty broad.
Yeah, I think ours was specific to Vista East. Or Vista East,
Yeah,
right? Hopefully Vista West.
And I just bring that up as a situation. Is Thane having,
They're actually putting a rec center in.
are they doing it for their own item, or are they going to talk about our items? Probably.
So they've invited other communities to be there, like other towns.
That's so you'll vote for their idea.
Well, and their idea is recreational as well. And actually, most of the municipalities are recreational. Many towns that were voting against it were actually not incorporated. So they may not have felt the benefit. So I think that's also why a lot of the municipalities are trying to shoot for things that the actual whole valley could use. And this is in discussion with, Kemmerer and Cokeville and Opal, other communities on the other southern end of the county as well, and the ideas that came forth.
I'm just going to add one quick thing. What they found is the group that's doing it now is that across the state, what does get voted on is recreation, not infrastructure. In fact, there was a real concern about our road project and Cokeville's sewer project. So, but it is recreation that people support. Okay.
When's the meeting thing?
It is the 18th Wednesday, so next Wednesday from 6 to 8.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other, Councilman, do you have something? No. Councilman Denny?
I just quickly, for to the Travel and Tourism Board that has to be, they're working on a grant application process to where organizations or individuals that wanted to have events on the ranch could apply for lodging tax funds. That's still in process as the Travel and Tourism Board still gets their feet under them and gets all their procedures worked out. And then on the subject of chickens and potential update to town ordinances, we are working through doing as much research as we can on what is possible, what isn't possible, what the benefits and detractors are. We want to give it due diligence on both sides, since it's a topic that has very strong opinions on both sides, pro and con. So just wanted to put that out there, that we are going to try and turn over all the rocks and get to ground truth on what we can do there. So thank you.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I so move to adjourn.
Second. Moved by Councilman Arnold, second by Councilman Denny. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion